Before we get into the video, I just want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by GFUEL Energy. So for those of you guys that don't know, I've been trying out GFUEL since 2015, and we recently got the sponsorship in the middle of 2020, which was a huge milestone because within those 5 years, I've been collecting and purchasing GFUEL products because I personally believe in their products and I honestly love the flavors and what it gives me. It gives me energy, keeps me focused, it gives me a boost, and is a great alternative from Red Bull, Monsters, Bang Energy, and even coffee. And it is amazing because they have over a wide variety of flavors. They have over 40 different flavors. They got can options, they even got hydration, they even have some energy crystals right there. So they have many different options for you to choose from, which is insane. And if you guys use the code TechHD, you guys could get 10% off any GFUEL product, and sometimes it even goes up to 30%. And I usually let you guys know on both Twitter and Instagram, so I have links to that down in the description below. They recently just came out with their Phase 10 flavor, and this is in partnership with Phase Clan since 2010 and forever. So this is great. Now you guys can use the code TechHD to also get 10% off this flavor and new releases later on in the future as well, which is amazing. So I'll have a link down in the description below, or you guys can use code TechHD to get 10% off your next purchase. What's going on, you guys? This is TechHD, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most affordable gaming routers that has the DumaOS software and is coming directly from Netduma. This right here is their R2 version, and it's only going for $150, and this offers a lot and it's pretty powerful. So now taking a look at what you get inside the box, you get the user guide, a Cat6 Ethernet cable, the AC power adapter, the 4 external antennas, and the R2 router. Now taking a look at the ports on the back, you have a USB 3.0 port, 4GB Ethernet LAN ports, and 1GB WAN port, the reset button, and the power port. On the side you have the antenna ports, and they just screw in very easily. There's no specific antenna for a specific port. And on the front you have the LED lights for the power, internet, 2.4 and 5 GHz band, and the 4 Ethernet ports. Now, I personally love the appearance of the R2 router, but I'm not a big fan of the build quality. It's decent, but it really feels like a thin, hollow plastic. Now, taking a look at the specs, this is a dual band router that uses 802.11 AC technology, and it goes up to 300 megabits per second on the wireless end on the 2.4 GHz band, and 867 megabits per second on the wireless AC on the 5 GHz band, totaling to around 1200 megabits per second. Now, after setting up the router, you're going to want to go to your computer that's hardwired to the router and type in your browser the R2 IP address. If you don't know what it is, it should be on the bottom of the R2 router, as well as a password if you want to connect to it and set it up wirelessly, but wired is more reliable. It's going to ask you some questions to set up, like what's your internet speed that you're paying for, set up your admin username and password, and your SSID and password for both the 2.4 and 5 GHz band. After that, you are all set up and you are now in the DumaOS dashboard. Alright, you guys, so now the main thing that I want to show you is the DumaOS 3.0 software, and that is the major thing when it comes down to purchasing the R2 router, is that Netduma owns both the hardware and now the software. And so any future updates, the Netduma R2 will get the future updates first before any of the Netgear Nighthawk routers, which is really beneficial. So that's the major key difference as far as hardware goes. You know, it's not going to have the top of the end specs or anything like that. It only goes up to 300 megabits per second on the 2.4 gigahertz band at wireless end, and then you have 867 on wireless AC on the 5 gigahertz band. And it's not top tier specs, but it is really good for most users, and typically we're up to AX, but not many devices really support AX speed for the time being. But the major thing that the R2 is beneficial for is their software. And you know, any Netgear Nighthawk gaming routers or any Netduma products, you got the DumaOS software. So one of the major things that I want to talk about is the 3.0 and some of the key features that are different when it comes to it. And so the first thing that we're going to be talking about is the geofilter, which is, so you have the basic radius filter, which is, you know, really nice, very basic, nothing too crazy. But for me, I originally lived in New York, and all of my friends that I play on Xbox are still in New York. So whenever I need to play with them, I have to disable the filtering mode, just have it in spectating mode, and then I'm not allowed, I'm not using the geofilter at all, which is pretty much losing that potential. So the major thing is the Polygon mode, which is really nice. So now I am able to add a circle or square or anything like that, and I'm able to add an area where I want to play, which is mainly Texas, and then I could also do the same thing in New York. So then I could connect to my friends, no problem, still have filtering mode enabled, and then still connect to people close to me or people in New York, which is really nice. And then you could add as many points as you want. So let's say I have some friends over here. I'm gonna make this pretty large, and then it's gonna connect, and then now I have that box, and then you can see on the bottom you have the remaining points, which is pretty much enough for everybody in my opinion. I have 38 remaining points. If I want to delete something like this one, I just click on it, and then I go back to 42, which is really nice, really beneficial. And then of course I have my PC, my Xbox, I can have my PS4 if I want to. As far as that, I can have my ping assist a little bit higher, so I'm not waiting in the queue for that long, which is nice. And so far geofiltering with the Polygon has been very helpful, and it has been great being able to play with my friends and at the same time still have filtering mode enabled. Now the other thing that I really like is the ping heat map. Now unfortunately they're not going to have all the games available yet, but they do have a majority of the popular games like Dota, Halo, Destiny, Call of Duty. You got Warzone and Modern Warfare. You also got Fortnite, Valorant, stuff like that. So let's say for example I'm going to be playing Warzone. It's going to tell me the closest server that will give me the lowest ping possible. And so it seems like over here on the top right, it tells me about 16 milliseconds. This is the server. If I click on it, I could zoom a little bit closer, and I'm able to see that that is the location so far. And then what I could do is make a list. So like if I scroll now down, I could add that to my list, and then I'm gonna do COD closest ping. I could make a new list if I want to, but then I'm gonna hit save, and now I have my current ping is 15 milliseconds, which is nice. But that is one thing that I wanted to add to my list, and then I can do the same thing with any other game. So let's say Halo. I'm gonna go back here, and then you can see it's trying to connect to all the servers possible. I got 24 milliseconds, which is not bad. Okay, let's do Fortnite as an example. Okay, damn, that's a lot of servers. Oh my god. So far 39 milliseconds. Okay, not too crazy, but it seems like there isn't anything lower than 39. There are 129 successful and 5 failed attempts. Okay, let's go back to, let's do just regular Call of Duty Modern Warfare, see how those servers are. 16 milliseconds. Okay, 22 successful. Nice. 14 failed. Oh wow, depending on location, which is crazy. And so I of course want to connect to all these servers over here. I don't want to connect to anything overseas, so that's going to be the major thing. So that is really beneficial. So for me, in my location, I am able to get up to 16 milliseconds in ping from me to the server, which is really nice. The other cool thing that I really like is the connection benchmark. So this is able to tell me my download speed, my upload speed, what it is for Netflix, my average ping, any of the jitter, or if I'm getting any packet loss, and my ping test on the download, upload, and idle, which is really nice. So let's run a test. For example, I did one previously. I got an 8+ rating. So I run Spectrum. I have Spectrum currently, and my download should be 400 megabits per second, and my upload should be around 20 megabits per second. So you can see right there, I have 23, and I'm supposed to be getting 20, which is nice. So I'm getting a little bit over than what I'm paying for, which is really good. We can see that the download is above it, 452, very nice in the download. And then that is telling me that I could do Netflix speeds of 4K, which is perfect because I have a lot of 4K movies and series and stuff like that. So I'm able to take the full benefit of the R2 router, and that gave me a A+ rating. And then my ping test, I was averaging around 15 milliseconds, which is really nice. Jitter about 2 milliseconds, and 0 packet loss, which is great. And then we got the ping test on idle. We got 14.42 milliseconds. Okay, seems like the upload is around in the 20s and 30s. Okay, 20 milliseconds. And then we got the download speed averaging close to in the 30s mainly. And then that's what's telling me. Okay, let's see, 24.29. Okay, better than what I expected. But overall, this is telling me how my connection is, how the R2 is getting the connections. If for any reason I'm getting way less than what I'm paying for, I could mess around the settings, see what's bottlenecking the speed. But for the most part, I'm getting exactly the speeds that I'm paying for, and even more, which is really nice. My ping is low, and everything is looking great. A+ ratings all the way. And so this is able to really tell you what needs to be fixed, or what needs to, as far as the settings go, what needs to be tweaked a little bit to get all that A+ ratings. But so far, really good. And to show you guys, the R2, like I said, doesn't have the top end specs, but for me, it works perfectly fine. And I have over 45 devices connected to this R2 router, which is insane. A bunch of stuff connected to the 2.4 GHz band. But yeah, I got smart lights, I got Ring doorbells, thermostat, my smart lock, you know, my garage door, a whole bunch of stuff, my consoles, my laptop, my computer, any hubs, and stuff is connected to the 5 GHz band. Stuff is connected, security cameras as well. Some of the stuff is not currently connected, but just to let you guys know that this thing, the R2, isn't gonna basically hold you back as far as performance. Like, the R2 still could pack a punch, and I have all these devices now. A lot of these don't really take up that much bandwidth, like a bunch of the smart lights, like the LifeX bulb, stuff like that. But just to show you guys, I do have a bunch of stuff connected. So as far as performance goes, I'm not missing a beat. I'm able to still play 4K games. I'm still able to play 4K streaming, like on Netflix and YouTube, stuff like that. And I have no problem when it comes to any type of lagging or anything when it comes to buffering. And so that is really nice. As far as the R2, it has been performing really nice. The other major thing is the AdBlocker feature. Now, this is a hit or miss for me because I've been having some really good things and then also some little setbacks. So the major thing with the AdBlocker is that I'm able to enable it on my router, and all my devices that are connected to the router has AdBlocker enabled. So I don't have to worry about any plugins or applications or anything on the web browser, stuff like that. So if my phone is connected to my laptop, my computer, any devices, I have a total of 63 devices. Oh my god, more than 45. That is insane. But a total of 63 devices have AdBlocker automatically enabled because they are connected to the router, which is really nice. Now, the major thing that I wanted to say about the AdBlocker is that it's a hit or miss, mainly due to the fact that it doesn't get all of the ads, unfortunately. But this is something that you guys need to tell Netduma about, because they're constantly updating it. They're constantly trying their best to get all the ads. That's why I have it disabled for the time being. But if I were to enable it, it gets a majority of the ads, like on YouTube and stuff like that. But then every once in a while you'll get an ad. It's nothing too crazy, it's nothing so consistent. But the other major thing that I don't like about the AdBlocker is that if I go on Twitter or Instagram, for some reason not all of my stuff fully loads up. So like pictures or videos, and it was when I had AdBlocker enabled why it would like pause it, it wouldn't fully load, it would take a really long time for it to load. So then when I disabled it, everything went back to normal. So that's another thing that they need to fix regarding that. Otherwise, I would have AdBlocker enabled at all times. But for the time being, it's a hit or miss. I really like the concept, and I want them to constantly update it and to make sure that it is really nice. Alright, you guys, so now what I want to do is show you guys a couple of speed tests. We're going to be doing some speed tests on the 2.4 and 5 GHz band on my phone. We're using the SpeedTest app, and you guys love this when I did this on the XR300 review. So we're going to be doing the same thing and see how well the Netduma R2 router performs. This one is the up close, see how it is. I'm about 10 feet away from it, see how reliable it is. And then we're going to be doing another one where I'm on the opposite side of my apartment, 750 square feet. So we're going to see how reliable that is and see how much lower the speed actually gets. But first thing we're going to do is the 2.4 GHz band, and we're going to be trying this out. I have it on Frontier, Dallas, Spectrum. So I'm doing Spectrum. I pay around 400 megabits per second on the download speed and around 20 megabits per second on the upload speed. So ping was around 10 milliseconds, not too bad. Jitter was around 3 milliseconds, okay. And I'm averaging around 85, okay, 85.9 megabits, not too bad for 2.4 gigahertz band. And then we'll try this out on the upload speed, 20, okay, so exactly what I'm paying for, 20 megabits per second on the upload speed. Not too shabby, not too bad. It's not fluctuating a lot or anything like that, which is really nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the 5 gigahertz band, and we're going to see how this one performs and see if it does any crucial difference. I'm expecting a lot more, of course, but this is on the phone, so we'll see how it is. Same thing, same server, okay. 10 milliseconds, same thing as paying 2 milliseconds. Okay, so we're getting the actual speeds that I'm paying for. 400, way over 400 megabits per second on the download speed, and it is just consistent. So 475 on the download speed, on the upload speed, okay, 23 megabits per second. It doesn't seem like it's going any higher or lower, and it is just straight consistent. Okay, so 400, over 400 and over 20 megabits per second, exactly what I'm paying for. Like I said, this is the first test. This is about 10 feet away. There's no interference or no objects blocking the signal coming directly from the R2 router directly to my phone. So now we're gonna see how it is on the opposite side of my apartment when there's walls and furniture and a bunch of other devices that's going through. Keep in mind that I have over 45 devices connected to the R2 router, so we're gonna be seeing how that performs. Alright you guys, so now we moved on to the opposite side of my apartment. You can see the entrance being right there, and there's a bunch of walls as well as a bunch of furniture and multiple devices that are connected to the Netduma R2 router. And so we're going to be seeing how well it is, if it's reliable at this type of distance. I own a 750 square foot apartment, so we're going to be seeing how this is. This is the 2.4 gigahertz band, and we're using the same server, everything like that. We're going to see how much of a difference there is. Okay, so jitter went from 3 milliseconds to 27 milliseconds, 16 milliseconds in ping compared to 10, and then we're doing around 70. Okay, so not too bad of a difference really. You're still getting 74, 75 megabits per second on the download speed, and that's because the 2.4 range is much better. And then going to the upload speed, we're getting around 11 megabits per second instead of the original 20 megabits per second, which is what I'm originally paying for. Okay, now it's starting to pick up speed, so now it's about 15, went back down to 14, so averaging around 14 megabits per second on the upload speed and 75 on the download speed. All right, so now let's switch over to the 5 gigahertz band. I'm gonna see how this one performs. I'm gonna close this out, and we're just gonna redo it, see how this performs. As far as ping, jitter, ping is the same, 10 milliseconds. Okay, jitter is 6 milliseconds. I am still getting well over 400 megabits per second. I'm still hitting 470 in the download speed, and it is so reliable. It finishes it real quick. Okay, and the, my God, the upload speed is still 23 megabits per second. So range, distance, anything like that for $150 on the R2, this thing is pretty insane. Like range and all that is still crazy. I still have so many devices connected to it, and yet I'm still able to get a reliable speed on the download speed and upload speed on the 5 gigahertz band. So if you have a 4K TV, you're playing 4K games, or Netflix, you're streaming, you're playing online games, stuff like that, and you're all the way on the opposite side, this thing is still gonna pack a punch. This thing is still gonna be very reliable, and I really like that. Alright you guys, so the last thing I wanted to show you is a gaming example. So as you can see right here, right below me, I have a screen capture of the Duma software, and I have the auto ping set to that, and we are also playing on PC. So on the top left, you can see my latency, and you can see it's around 23 milliseconds, which is really nice. And so you got two options to see the latency. I recommend the one on the actual game instead of the auto ping, because that auto ping will fluctuate a bit and then it'll stay as the same number for some reason, and I think that's just something that they need to fix. So we'll see how it goes. You can see that it just disabled. It's probably going to refresh or something, but we're going to see how good my shots are, if they're connecting, if they're actually working, if you see any lag or anything like that. And I just like cheated death a lot. Got him. Ooh, see, shots are connecting really nice. Oh, I saw him. Ooh, man, I had to do a quick double take on that. Oh, they're definitely gonna spawn near me. Nice. Oh yeah, my shots are definitely connecting. Oh, he saw me. No, buddy. Let's go. So you can see that the auto ping and the Duma software isn't really working. I'll probably refresh it in a bit. Man, I am getting these kills, and it is easy, like it's just a couple shots. Nice double. Oh my god, I just got that turn on. This guy thought he killed me. He stopped shooting. I hate when I do that. Whew. Oh man, he is salty. I saw him. Oh, dip, 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 dip. Why am I challenging? Oh yeah? You want to do that? I'm surprised I got that kill, to be honest. Oh, right, shield. Oh. Okay, never mind. What just killed me? What was that? I like that. I like that. Alright, so I refreshed it. Just wanted to show you guys. So far, my latency, you know, I'm in the 20s right now. Like, I'm in 19 millisecond latency. Alright. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, God. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Not killing me. Oh, ho, ho. If I got him and I just healed myself, I would have probably gotten the third guy. But so far, my shots are connecting, their shots are connecting. It's a balanced game. It's working. Oh my god, I was just hitting wall at that point. I am. Okay, so you guys see that the auto ping in the Duma software is just frozen at 11 milliseconds. I highly doubt I'm at a consistent 11 milliseconds. So that's why I say trust in the actual game latency. For example, like PC. That's why I want to show you guys on the PC. Oh, I'm dead. Alright, so we lost, but my latency was super low. And below it, it's still saying 11 milliseconds. I don't believe that. But for the most part, the latency was in the 20s, in the low 20s as well. 115.10, not too bad. We started to do bad at the end, but overall, my shots were connecting. I was able to kill people really quick. I was dying pretty quick as well. So, you know, it was even both ways. It wasn't like my shots were not connecting or their shots wasn't connecting or anything like that, which was really nice. But I just wanted to show you guys that the geofilter and all that, the latency, the shots are all working properly. So that is really cool. Now, my overall thoughts on the Netduma R2 gaming router is I like it a lot for what it has to offer and definitely for the price. I think this is one of the best budget gaming routers to get that has the DumaOS software. Now, of course, out of all the gaming routers from Netgear and Netduma, the R2 is going to have one of the lowest specs, right below the XR300, but I just showed you guys that I have over 50 devices connected to this, and we did speed tests and gaming tests, and it did not disappoint, and this router is really tailored for anybody. Also, for those of you guys asking why you should buy the R2 over the Netgear Nighthawk routers, is Netduma makes the software, so whenever they come out with patches and new features, like for example DumaOS 4.0, the R2 will be the first one to get it. So if you guys really care about the software side of this router, then I will say go for the R2. But if you guys are more into the hardware and the best highest specs, then I would say go for one of the Netgear Nighthawk routers. Now, my only con that I have for the Netduma R2 router is nothing software based, but actually the build quality. I'm not a fan at all of the thin hollow plastic, and comparing it to the Netgear routers, they are way better in build quality. Also, the R2 antennas for me are very loose and they don't really stay in place, and I tighten them to the best of my ability, but they just move around. So if you guys ever come out with an R3 model, I would suggest to really focus on the build quality of this router. But overall, for $150, you can't go wrong with getting the Netduma R2 router. And if you're not trying to spend that much and you want to experience the DumaOS software, then this will be a great option. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and links to everything will be down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so that you guys can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. As always, TechHD. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.